The University of Oregon Athletic Department is having one of its most successful years in school history. The football team won its first Rose Bowl in 95 years, men and women track and field won Pac-12 conference titles, acrobatics and tumbling are defending national champions, and softball is heading to the Women's College World Series. While the students and the university are very proud of these accomplishments, sometimes the well-being of the student athletes participating gets lost in the accolades. Student athletes are considered by the NCAA to be amateur, which means that they are not allowed to receive payment to compete.
I'd say it was 7 or 8 years ago, there was an exploration about changing the definition of amateurism. I mean, and that's the bedrock principle of whether or not you can provide student athletes with anything over above their educational expenses.
Bill Clever, Assistant Athletic Director for Compliance, who has worked in Oregon's athletic department since 1999, explained that student athletes are receiving as much as the NCAA allows the university to give them.
You know, we're a full-service athletic department, as one would expect.
That means that everything from tutoring and academic specialists to compensating the cost of education for full scholarship athletes is covered. However, there is a limit on what graduating seniors can be awarded.
Well, they didn't say limits, obviously, what you can provide your student athletes. Historically, there are award limits. So as a graduating senior, I want to say the award limit is $425.
From that $425, football players, for example, would take out the price of one jersey and one helmet valued at the amount that the athletic department would sell at their annual garage sale. If an athlete wanted more of their own gear, they would have to pay for those items out of their own pockets.
From my understanding, we get to keep one jersey and one helmet. And with as many different jerseys as Oregon has, I understand them not being able to give us all our jerseys, but I really wish we got to have them all because they all mean something special to me. They all remind me of the games I played in. I know if I have the money, I'm definitely going to purchase all of the gear that they offer me.
Typically, when the extra gear could not go directly to the student athletes who used them, they were sent to an additional storage space and kept there. That is, until last September, when the athletic department started a new auction website designed to sell its excess official team gear to fans.
We came up with Oregon Authentic as a separate entity to try to move some of this stuff because we have a lot of requests from fans that want the real thing. They want the real helmet, they want the real jersey, they even want the real practice gear that isn't available at retail. So we came up with the site and it's done pretty well so far.
Craig Pins, Senior Associate Athletic Director for Marketing and Public Relations, helped put the site into motion and says that the response from the fans has been great.
We've had a couple fans that, hey, this is the site I've been waiting for, and we've just based on the number of bids on certain items, that the response has been pretty spectacular.
Nick Cody thinks that many people have the misconception that Oregon Authentic takes away from the student athletes.
Essentially what happens is the NCAA says it would be extra benefits for you to get anything more than one jersey and a helmet when you graduate as a senior. So the team gives you the opportunity to buy those jerseys back, but they're kind of expensive, so most people don't get to. So what you see on the site is generally people who weren't able to buy those things back, and those get auctioned and come back into the athletic department.
Unless the NCAA rules change, there are no ways to increase the amount of gear that student athletes can receive.
With the amount of gear that we actually have, and the amount of different football specifically, with the amount of different jerseys that we wear, it's not even necessarily possible to award, per the NCAA rules, to actually award everything to the student athlete. We wish there was a way to do that. There's not a way to currently do that. If there was, we would do it in a heartbeat.
Clever explained that the process to change NCAA rules is a complicated one, but they do understand that as times change, rules do need to be reevaluated.
The NCAA is currently undergoing a massive effort to re-examine a lot of the rules. And the award limit may be something that is on the short list of things to change.
Aside from gifts, the question remains whether the NCAA allows for student athletes to receive enough aid to get through college and all of the expenses that are associated with the cost of an education.
I think by the limits that the NCAA sets for us, we certainly have enough as student athletes to survive and live, but not comfortably. We have to budget really really closely. Generally, what we get is going to pay for food and rent. And if you have anything like a car and you need to pay gas, or if you need to pay cell phone bills, a lot of that you need to get from your parents because our stipend doesn't cover that. So when I think about the question, do we put out as much as we get back? I would say no.
Reporting for Oregon Extra, this has been Matthew Lerman and Jeff Bell.